All right, and we are live, fellas.
All right. Welcome everyone to the Reseller Roundtable. Streaming live on YouTube. You can find us at the Reseller Roundtable. Also our podcast on Spotify and other places where you find podcasts. Tonight we're talking about the value of offering free returns on eBay, the benefits. It may turn into a discussion of whether you should always offer free returns or not. So we're just going to delve into the benefits and some of the possible um, cons of offering free returns.
I think
I
before
guess
we,
I'll start out with. I guess
who
a
are you?
good way to start this is where are we on that issue? Like for me,
Well,
I do offer. Well, first of all, I'm a clothing reseller, like 99%. And I do offer free 60-day returns. I do charge for shipping on the other end. So what that means is if I ship a shirt and it doesn't fit, the customer wants to return it. They open the return. I have it automated where they'll automatically get a free return label on my nickel. It comes back to me, and here's one of the things. There's a percentage of those returns that the person will never actually return, even if they do open up a return. I would say it's probably about a third, maybe even up to a half of mine don't actually come back. So 30 to 40% would be my guesstimate from just looking at it. Um, the ones that do come back, I open them up. I make sure that's the same item, it's in the same condition it was sent. If it was a buyer remorse return, item doesn't fit, didn't like item, changed mind, found a better price, I refund the purchase amount. I do not refund the original shipping on that. If the return is an INAD, an item not as described, item was defective, item was broken, or misrepresented listing, if I actually screw that up, say there was a hole that I missed in the pictures and in the description, I would then also refund them the original shipping. Um, but here's the beautiful thing. Many buyers, well, I'm not gonna say many. Some of the buyers on eBay know that if they select item not as described, even if that's not true, then that they expect to get that original shipping back. So you'll get a fair amount of those what I call a false INAD. Anytime that happens, I report the buyer. I put the reasoning in there. If I need to take a picture to support or whatever, I plug that in. That goes to eBay. They review it, and I found personally most of those false INADs, eBay will take care of, and it will not ding your account. And to me, that's probably the biggest pro of offering free returns is your ability to do that, assuming you're a top rated seller as well. So there's a
I
lot we
think
could get into.
I
So
think that's a good point that you put out because when I was actually talking to Scott, I think free returns is great when necessary or available, but I think at what level are you as a seller? You know, for someone new who, let's say they don't have a lot of capital, they don't have, you know what I mean, they don't have enough behind them yet, and they're just getting started. Free returns could potentially set you back enough. I mean, I don't see. I hope it wouldn't, but it has the potential. I mean, to put a negative experience in that seller. Whereas if you just offer for them to put shipping in and they're learning the system, I feel like as new sellers, I would tell them to do shipping first and then gradually evolve into as you learn your product, what you're selling. When you know, oh, well, this right here, we don't get but X amount of percent, and I can expect it like in clothes. Like a certain percentage will be returned. You give yourself enough of a cushion to be able to handle those things, and I think they have to learn what's good for them. So, I mean, new sellers, I don't know if I would suggest it right out the gate, but maybe. I mean, I'm not talking a lot of sales here. I'm talking get 50 to 100 sales in, over the course of 6 months to a year, and get your feet wet with all the other process before you have to worry about having to do that process as well. Like, because this will take you, hopefully it don't take you that long, but if you're starting out, it's going to take you a little bit to get to that seller rating anyway. So, and if you offer it, I think that's what for the better. You get a lot of breaks for being top rated seller, but you know, it's starting out. You're not going to get that in your first 50 sales. I mean, you're just not. So I don't see the benefit of it when you just start, but I might be wrong. I mean, I think we all consider us to be professionals at this in our own way, in our own respect. But I feel like seasoned resellers have more benefit out of it, or someone who's been in the game a lot longer than someone who's just starting. So that would be a pro or con for that person just starting.
Well, here are the benefits. I guess let me lay out the benefits, and then I want to hear what everybody else thinks. Like, this is something that eBay measures on their quality listing report. Anything that eBay measures on their quality listing report affects the algorithm.
Right.
So by offering free returns, you're going to get higher search placement, which means you're going to sell more. And I agree with Alton that learning your return rate, learning how to list correctly to describe any flaws or any problems that you have. Like, my return rate is about 3 to 4%. And it kind of varies. Like, within women's jeans, it's the worst. And I'm trying to get away from women's jeans because there's just too many measurements there for that reason. So you're going to get higher placement, more sales. You do need that top rated seller, because if you're a top rated seller and there's certain requirements, a number of sales, your defects, all that. I don't have that information right up in front of me, but I am top rated seller. Then if you offer at least 30-day free returns, you get top rated seller plus. And so the benefits of top rated seller plus is you get a 10% discount on your final value fees. You get the INAD protection. You get the feedback. That's a huge one. You get the feedback protection. I had a negative feedback removed this past week. I called eBay. They said they thought it was a girl's pair of jeans, but they were women's. They never reached out to me. I offer free returns. They just left a negative feedback. So I reached out to eBay. I'm like, hey, top rated seller, offers 60-day free returns. I use eBay's hassle-free. This is what eBay terms it. eBay's hassle-free return policy. They could have returned it and got a free refund for any reason. They didn't do that. The girl put me on hold for a couple minutes. I come back and she removed that negative feedback. If I did not have free returns, then I've got a negative feedback. What does a negative feedback cost me? Anytime you get a negative feedback, I guarantee you, watch your traffic for the next couple of days. It's going to decrease. That is a big red flag. And then you get the 10%. Oh, and you can also deduct up to 50%. Like if somebody does let's say I have a new shirt I ship out. It's new with tags. The customer gets it. They wear it. They cut the tags off. It comes back with a stain. They want their money back. In that case, the item is not the same condition. So I can then deduct up to 50% of the value of that item. So if it was a $40 shirt, I can deduct $20 when I receive it. So to me, there's a lot of benefits, and for those reasons, I do use it. And if I was a new seller, I would still do it. But I get where Alton's coming from, and you would want that top rated seller, and that would probably be your number one focus at the beginning.
Because I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I see the benefits of the free shipping, right? So, but I'm not saying don't do it. I'm worried about the new people as well. I feel like that's the one thing is it's easy for us to like, oh yeah, let's do free shipping. Like, it's easy for us to be able to get into that.
Well, not free shipping, free returns.
Well, free returns. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean. But like the free return side of it is, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of the things that it could mess with some people in the long run who haven't dealt with a lot of returns. And just that whole process. So it's a learning curve. So,
and here's one other thing, and I'll quit talking to hear from everyone else. Like, if you offer returns but they're not free returns, well, we know a customer could do a false item not as described, and whatever reason, even if you don't even offer returns, if they say the item is not as described, the item was damaged, even if they're just lying, eBay's going to force that return upon you. And you're not going to get any of the benefits I just mentioned. So I think to protect yourself. It seems counterintuitive, but I really do think it protects yourself. What about you, Scott? What do you do with returns?
I offer free returns, but I'm looking to scale my eBay business, so I definitely want to. I started from the beginning offering free returns, and I did see the benefit of the feedback removal and being top rated and get that discount. That discount is huge, especially when you're sending out a bunch of items, a month. So I think it depends on what kind of seller you want to be on eBay. If you want to be a casual seller and sell 1 or 2 things a day, I don't know if it's really necessary, and it depends on what you're selling. If you're selling
Like,
clothes,
for example, a store like Clay's Closet that maybe sells an item once a week.
I could sell him a Mets shirt and then he can put it in his closet. But yeah, it depends on what you want to do with your eBay store. Is the huge question, and what you're selling also. If you're selling, golf bags and heavy, motors or whatever, I don't know if I'd offer free returns, but on clothing and media and stuff like that, I definitely offer free returns. And I know some eBay sellers offer no returns. You get it and you get it and it's yours. But like you said, Brian, they could always get a return through eBay and INAD it and all that stuff. So I don't know. It's. I guess everybody has to make that decision for their business.
You guys know I sell a lot of electronics and I offer free returns. Mm-hmm. But I also test every one of my pieces of electronics. I describe it in detail. I've been doing a lot of videos on them lately to cover my butt on stuff like that. I do have a video coming out. I don't take many returns, but I have one that's in the process that I'm going to let go to eBay because it was for parts only. And he even says in this thing, all I wound up with is parts now. And I'm like, well, that's the listing. This is what you bought. Said it didn't work. So I'm waiting for that to come to fruition, but I'm hoping to put a video out on that tonight or tomorrow, hopefully.
There you go.
But free returns for me, like I said, the only thing that kills me is when I don't get it in time and they send it USPS, because that gets rather expensive. Big stereo coming back at you could cost you $100,
Right. That's what I'm saying. It depends on what you're selling. That free return that could damper someone who's just getting started. But all of us, we're doing just fine. We could do one thing and do free returns, and we might not take the hit as bad. But I'm also trying to be thinking about, well, not everybody's in the same position as we are, So.
But here's the other thing that people don't understand is if you sell on other platforms, let's just say eBay's here, right? But once you start selling on other platforms, there's no, like Amazon or Walmart for me, there's no option of no returns. You know what I'm saying? I get no longer wanted. I got inadequate supply. They, Walmart especially, they can walk down to Walmart, hand it in, and say, just send it back and give me my money back. So for me, I'm kind of now at this point trained to just be like, okay, send it back and we'll start over. I got a shipment in yesterday from Walmart. The lady bought 5 of the same thing and gave 3 reasons of no longer needed, and her other 2 reasons was inadequate supply or quantity, right? And I told the wife, no big deal. I posted the number back up, and they were gone that night again. So it's really not a big deal. It's just a question of, if you take it personally, it's going to drive you down and drive you nuts, because that there is something that as a business, you just have to face up to it and say, look, send it back to me and we'll try and do the best we can to get it fixed. If I can replace it, I will. Sometimes you just don't have a replacement for it. So you take it back and refund and relist it and sell it again.
Well, every business has a return policy, so just think of it as how you're going to define your return policy and how you're going to run your business. So,
but I think Mike made a very big point that we should spend a little bit of time on even more. He said he doesn't take it personal. If you look at most Facebook groups or YouTube videos, people get so emotional about returns. But if you look at retailers, like they build that into their business model. They know, like Scott was talking about, you're going to get an X percent of returns. So you shouldn't get upset when somebody sends a return message. I barely even read it. I'm like, offer free returns for any reason, return within 60 days. I'm not going to go back and forth with them. I'm not going to let them ruin my day with a return that may not be justified in my mind. Like I said, number one, it's probably about a 50% chance, even if I approve, well, it's automatic, even with the return approved, that they're not actually gonna send it back. People are lazy. No, people are just lazy. That's it. And then number two, I'm just going to issue them a refund, and then I'm going to relist it. And from my experience, most of the items that are returned, you relist that thing, I actually relist it for a little bit higher, and it usually sells pretty quickly. So why am I going to get bent out of shape? I'm not a hobby sellist. I'm not. I mean, maybe that's where Alton was talking about. If you're brand new and you didn't, it depends on how you're treating eBay or your reselling business. If you're treating it as a personal extension of yourself, then you're going to get caught up in all these things, and you're going to be angry all the time. But you have to treat it as a business and not take it personally. If once you learn to let that go, and I didn't always do this, I used to take it personally. But since I've learned to let it go, it makes my day so much better and so much less stress.
And I think I was actually looking through the chat. Trina Lynn actually commented saying that check the fine print on Top Rated that it allows for paid returns on media and no returns on trading cards. And I think that's actually protection of you, because anyone can return the condition of a card, and it's hard to, right. It's just that's a category that I don't want to be in on eBay. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, and that makes sense, and that kind of goes to what y'all are talking about. There are caveats, and depending on the niche and different things, you may want to consider that. But I love what Mike said. He tests all of his electronics. I know Mike is an expert shipper. It's going to be shipped very well, where it's going to most likely, unless UPS runs it over with a truck, it's probably going to get there working. So, and he's creating good listings, so if you do all those things, you're minimizing your returns. Now, I'm curious for the people who have a lot of returns and bitch and complain about it. I want to look at their listings. Like, are they creating good listings? Are they taking good pictures? Are they testing electronics? Like, I'll be honest. I sold a pair of sprinkler heads that I got a long time ago in a lot. I did not test them, and that was on me. And I knew when I created that listing, I should have listed for parts. I didn't. I put them as used condition. I trusted the information I got from the auction company, and guess what? The buyer said 4 of the 5 didn't work, and he wanted a refund. I offered a 80% refund, and for him to keep them. He declined, and guess what? I paid for the return, and I took that defect because I didn't do my job on that listing, and I had to own that. So you've also got to look at your part of it. Are you doing your part? And sometimes we don't.
Well, a week ago, I took a return on a weather station. One of the ones brand new, sent it out. Of course, I didn't test it. And then you said you couldn't hook it up to the internet. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do this. Like 4 or 5 messages, and I'm like, it was brand new. I sent it to you. I don't know what you want. So he sent it back, and I had to list it for used now. But I still almost made back my money on it. But it's just frustrating when you're trying to do right by the buyer and it doesn't happen that way. So sometimes I do take it personally, which I probably shouldn't. But I think every message I see is like a long story about something, and how I screwed them and how I did this. And
a disabled vet on a fixed income.
Exactly. And I
it's like keep it simple. Like the old thing. Just keep it simple. Hey, need to return this. It don't work. Like,
That's all I need to know.
give me
It's
the
like-
basics. I don't need to hear a life story. Don't tell me some sob story of why you are having now buyer's regret. Like, I don't need none of that. It says free returns, return it, and we'll just do them.
Trina did bring up a good point. I didn't give him his shipping, so I took the shipping out of that. So yeah, I did a Brian and took the shipping out because it was brand new when I sent it to him. So
Alton, I'm going to ruin my video, but I got my video share up. I'm going to walk you through this return just so everybody. I want the feedback here also.
Okay. Got you.
All right, I think I have it set up right, so I'm not showing the customer's information or any of mine. So let's try it and see what happens.
All right, let's do that.
Now, ironically, this is an item I showed a good sale on last week's show.
All right, we're on your share.
Okay. The robot.
Here is okay. Let me start with the letter I got from him. Can you see this clearly?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the turntable arrived and is damaged in shipping. The turntable was shipped with the platter attached. Now, I saran wrapped the platter because there's no belt on or anything. It's not going anywhere. That thing didn't move an inch. It will now not come off the spindle, which is BS, but I'll show you here in the future. The cartridge was found in the wrapping, which if you watch my video, because I actually did a video unpacking this one, I take it off the arm and put it in some bubble wrap and stick it in a cardboard box. But we'll move on, okay? Separated from the arm and the stylus is broken. Now, I couldn't test the cartridge because the unit didn't power on. Right. One hinge was found under the arm. Now, when you watch my video, you'll see I put a box over the arm to protect it because there's no dust cover involved here. So the hinges on the back slide right out of the back of it. So I took them off and put them underneath there so that they couldn't puncture the box or anything like that because they're just like a projectile out the back.
Right.
Okay. The arm spindle is loose. This is a collection of parts, mind you. Okay. I am asking for a full refund. Thank you. So that's what I got from him, right? Now, this one? Okay, so here's the list, okay? Dual CS 5000 turntable, parts or repair, no power, okay? Sold for parts or repair, does not power on and needs a new belt, no dust cover, okay? And then I have all the pictures because, like, this is a $900 record player if it's working, okay? Right. $900 for this. He bought it for $159, hoping to fix it. Now, it arrived Saturday. I got a message Sunday night around 10. That message I just showed you, okay? So here, I think this is right. Yes, okay. So tell me from your experience, who takes a picture of the box before you even open it when there's no sign of damage whatsoever on this box?
No one.
Okay. Right? Nobody does this, correct?
Unless there's sign of damage on the box anywhere else on the box, which doesn't appear to be.
Right. I mean, this box is almost, except for the black marks on it, which is probably the rollers and stuff, the conveyor belts or whatever. This box is pretty much the way, if you watch my video on this, it's pretty much the way it looks at the end when I finish packing it, right? So then, before it even opens the item, now he takes a picture of the interior of the box. Now, from a layman's term, if you look at that packing, do you really see anything wrong with it?
No.
Okay. So then we go into his next picture. Again, I saran wrap the plate down. There's no belt on it, so it's just sitting there. It's not moving. You see my box over the arm?
Mm-hmm.
This is where he says that the hinge magically came off of here and wound up underneath here, underneath the arm. Okay.
But it's clearly attached from the.
Well, this one here, but I took the back one off. I put it underneath there. Okay. He found the extra box. He doesn't show the box that this was in. He just shows the cartridge itself. And I don't think. Oh, there's one more picture. Okay, there's the tie wrap I put on that you can clearly see me put on in the video. This part is what moves up and twists onto the cartridge. But this is, so I always take these off and pack them separately. And This is the part, the hinge that he's saying fell off back here. The actual slot is like right here. Can you see my mouse?
Mhm.
Slot's right there, and it's magically wound up underneath all this stuff. So I think that's the last picture. Oh, and that's the cartridge. All right. So again, my question is, what do you think? What would you have done?
I would have taken the return and then I would have called eBay and told them that this was listed
Oh
as parts
no,
only.
no, I have no return on this, so I had the
Oh, yeah.
option right then and there.
Oh, there you go. So there you go.
Bid on it. So I did call eBay to check with this, and then
Mhm.
the whole setup seems very fishy to me. From the first picture all the way down. You know what I'm saying? It's like he knew he was buying parts of repair and thinking to himself, in my mind, this is what he was thinking. If I fix it, I got a $900 stereo. If I can't fix it, I'm sending it back to the seller.
Yeah, and you notice that he asked for a refund, not a return. Like
Mhm.
it makes me think that maybe like what Mike said, he took all those pictures like preemptively, like he was planning on doing this.
Yeah.
Right. Fixing it and
Yeah.
keep it, or he's going to send it back if he couldn't fix it.
And you put for parts or repair, which is huge. You had all the pictures. Like I would have done what you did. I would have called eBay. What did eBay say on it?
They said they think it's that he's trying to get a refund for something I didn't do anything
He
wrong.
wants to refund.
So
Yeah.
they told me to wait the 3 days, let it go to review, and probably, and this has happened to me in the past, he'll get his money back and I'll keep mine, and eBay will move on.
Yeah.
So, but I don't, like I said before, I don't mind returns. And honestly, I get a lot of good feedback on my parts or repair because I sell so many electronics. People leave good feedback. Like I had a guy, I sent him a Denon. He spent $500 on this receiver. Okay. And it didn't even power on. But it's a $2,000 receiver. And he fixed it in 10 minutes. He wrote in my feedback.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks, goodies. I got it done in 10 minutes. I'm like, so, you know,
It's like, dang it, I wish I took that 10 minutes.
I wish I would have known that. I would have fixed it myself. So those are returns that, like I said, for me, it's worth fighting because I think I'm in the right on that one.
Yeah, it looks like it, and that's the perfect example of, you know, if you list something for parts or repair, you shouldn't. I wouldn't have a return on that either. Like there are some exceptions.
I have
It's
those
not,
as sold as is.
and
No.
that's what I like about clothing. I mean, that's not our topic, but you know, there's not all that debate. It's like, well, did I miss something? It didn't. I mean, it's a little bit more straightforward, and a little bit easier to ship. But yeah, I like that. Keep us updated. I sure hope you. I think Mike's right because I'm not Mike. eBay will want to make the customer happy, unless he does this often enough, and then maybe they might do something about it. But if in this case where Mike was in the right, you know, he'll be able to keep his funds too.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what's going to happen. I mean, realistically, if the guy was smart, he should have done a credit card dispute. Because
That might be the next step, but
yeah, he's already proven that he knows he has it. You know what I'm saying? I got all the pictures. I would hope
you got a video too. You also have a video that you could submit.
video packing on. So
It's just funny, out of all the ones to get it returned and then try it on one that you documented so well.
yeah, I mean,
It's like only if they knew you, like only if they realize what you're doing, you know, like yeah, I can't get away with that one. That's what they should have gone through their head. But
hold on. I'll show you. Here, let me share screen with you again. This is why sometimes being a YouTube content person helps, you know, because who else would have this? But this is the night I put this out. You got me?
yep, there it goes.
And right there's the video. So as you can see, I have this from beginning to end. See, the cartridge is on, but I take it off. I explain all this in the video. and then everything gets wrapped 3 times.
But hey, I mean, you're doing that. I mean, the cost of shipping, it's minute compared to protecting it, so it's worth it to spend the time to go through it.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's very detailed.
I have full coverage on this one. It's like Allstate. Good answer.
As the old term CYA.
Man,
So,
like I said, it's not even aggravating to me. You know, I mean, it's like, because like I said, I've been through it once before, and I know what happens. He'll get his money because eBay wants to keep them happy.
like, I'm all for doing the free return. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind. If something's wrong with it, send it back. Let me get my item back. I'll give your money back. Call it a wash, whatever. But when you start giving me crap like that, that's when it kind of makes me emotional enough to kind of step in and go with eBay and go, enough is enough. We need almost that fine balance of, we need good buyers. So if us sellers don't take action to get those good buyers and get rid of the bad ones, then we're just setting ourselves up for the future failure. So like Brian says, I contacted eBay. That's what he should have done. Like little things, I mean, I think we're always talking about trying to better ourselves for the future sales, not just the right now. So
Trina, that video was not in my listing. That's a packing video I did for my YouTube channel. I do videos on things that work, so that if they don't work when they get there, I can prove they were working when they left here. I had somebody blow up a $3,000 stereo on me that I had to put the hit on. I fought back on that one because I had the video of it working. I didn't put it in the listing, but I kept it on hold because it's like a super rare receiver. And as much as I love finding them, I love selling them more because I'm not a collector. So I know she hooked up a bad piece of equipment to it and blew it, and was probably trying to replace one she had already blown. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those.
right.
So that one worked out in my favor also because I was able to prove that worked when it left here.
Yeah, and I think like that category, electronics, is probably one of the highest frauded categories on eBay. So I think that's really smart. Making videos of those higher end sells.
Yeah, you have to. It's worth the 5 minutes to put it up. It only takes 5 minutes to do it real quick.
I mean, you start talking money like that, like you ever think about it, $3,000 hit, that's worth 5 or 10 minutes of your time to cover yourself in the event of an accident. It's like your insurance. It's not a matter of if something will happen; it's a matter of when.
Right.
And you want to be covered when it does. So, right. I mean, I think that's just a great idea that they're allowing that. So that's great. I've never had anything that big outside of documentation of pictures that would warrant a video, but electronics or stuff shows working, or if it's movement or anything like that, yeah, video is the way to go.
Yeah, and then I mean, you used to be able to put videos in no matter what. You could just embed them into your listing, so people it was always there. So it was a feature you can add, but I just don't like the fact that it takes 24 hours for it to kick in.
Because if it sells before that, it ain't going to work.
Well, yeah, I don't see the video, so it's like, But I promised Alton I was going to show him something I got today.
What did he get today? So I'm excited. I'm waiting to see.
I honestly don't know how good it is or how bad it is because I just comped it real quick, but it's got to be pretty.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
so
I'm listening.
Mutant Ninja Turtles.
TMNT.
Okay, so what is the bottom? Turn up on the bottom. I want to see who it's from. Playmate. So that's like 90, 93, 94?
The box is a little beat, but not horrible.
Right?
So
I may have to just tell you, I'm gonna have to go find comps. I'm gonna buy it from you and have you ship it.
Well, there's only one listed, not in the box, at $52.
That seems about right. That seems between that $40 and $50 range is where I would guess. Right.
This is in the box.
So how is the box completely like? That's where when I say collectors, when they start getting into it, if that box has a ding, it might as well be open.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not pristine,
right?
But it's not horrible for the age. The plastic has a little bit of yellowing to it. Can you see?
Right.
It?
Yeah, you can see a little bit of that.
Yep.
But still, overall, I mean, I think you'd have an easy sell.
Horrible.
Right.
So I was going to list them for 75 and see what happens.
That's a good price. I mean, that's not bad. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think you got a
It's
good deal there.
They're up there. So now I do have a chance to go do a buyout at this house at the end. I'll have to see what's left. They have a lot of Coke, Star Wars, Pez. They have
We need to get with you on like
gazillion
getting
Pez.
hats. Oh, hey, you know what?
That's awesome.
Let me and you work out a deal on some Pez, because I was actually talking with Scott and Marcus Sumo Thrift about wanting to do a Pez night live on the Whatnot app. See, like stuff like that, like that's the stuff I want to do. Fun little stuff like that in auctions, and because it's engaging. You know, it's different. You know, genres. It's different. You know, parts. So,
Big boy.
I like
There
that.
you go.
See, there you go. See, stuff like that would sell. Like, but so yeah, we may have to get with you and say, hey, what do you want for all of it?
These aren't worth much. I thought they'd be worth more.
What are they worth? About $10-15?
Yeah, 20.
Okay, not too far off.
Yeah, I was surprised, but oh well.
Americana. Well, do we want to transit? I think that's the perfect transition into our sales of the week.
One more thing. He's gonna love this one.
Uh-oh.
Die-cast
Yo,
vehicles.
Tyco.
Old school. I got like 20 of these things.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's nice right there.
$18.99. The boxes are a little junky, but not horrible.
Right.
I mean,
They still do all right. What'd you pick those up for?
You will not believe what I paid for those.
A quarter.
Probably. This was a huge garage sale buyout I did.
That's great.
I looked at these, and they only had $1 on each of them, so I knew once I got inside when I looked around, and I said to him, how much you want for everything? He looked at me, he's like, what do you mean? I said, I'll buy everything in this garage. He's in his wife, and they had Barbies and all kinds of stuff, and I was looking through the prices. They were like, just the Barbies alone were like $500.
Ooh.
So he turned to me and said, well, what would you offer? I said, well, I need to know a number from you first, and I can tell you, if I'm in the ballpark or not.
Right.
So he said 500. I was like, I could do 4 because I had 4 cash on me, so I had. I could do 4 right now, I said. He goes, take it. And I gave him $400. I took the whole garage. This was fun. I've sold so much for that garage sale, it's ridiculous. These I've had for a while because I priced them up. I had them at $25 each.
Right.
Where do you find them? Sealed,
What?
you know?
Yep.
Mike, I got a question about that. What time of day was it when you bought out that garage sale? Was it late in the day?
Yeah, it was probably like 11. Somewhere around there, 10:30, 11. I was at work. I just happened to be strolling on by.
That's the way to do it.
A lot of inventory. So obviously you're getting some cool pieces. We were talking about this on the morning call recently. So what are you like what? There's going to be some items you don't want to list. So what do you do with that stuff? Do you just donate it? Do you have outlets to get that?
A 10-yard dumpster at work. I throw them in.
Just throw them away.
Yeah, it's not worth anything. It's just I can't spend the time on it. You guys all know where I make my money. I make my money here, electronics, and here.
Right.
Golf clubs.
That's why I was saying you got to work out a deal with those Pez soon, because it's probably not going to do it individually, but I'll take them.
And by the way, to piggyback off Mike's statement, like I just sell clothing, but my golf clothing is definitely flying off the shelves.
Yeah,
The polos,
time of
the
year, too.
shorts, even
Great.
sold a Callaway jacket.
I just picked up 52 high-end clubs. This is tailor-made. Okay. And then I got Callaways and I got Mizunos. And it was a total of 52 clubs for $100. Each one of these clubs will sell for like $60, $70 each.
Jeez.
So
That's a steal.
and they're actually
Do you feel bad? Did the police chase you? Because you stole it?
no, the guy had a Facebook ad. But here's the thing: these are demo clubs from a pro shop. They were never used in the wild. These have only hit a carpet.
So did the pro shop sell it, or was it like a third party that got a hold of them?
a third party. When he bought out, he got it from a storage locker,
Mm.
and he doesn't have the room, so I was like, I'll take him. That's what making contacts is always good.
Mhm.
I like Clay's response to your clothing and golf. He said, "At the biz tomorrow, I'm gonna look for golf clubs and take that to that other store I sold to. The bet they buy some."
Let's see. Trina asked me a question. She said, "Brian, do you promote list your clothing?" All right. So actually, Chris asked me this question this morning too. When I list a brand new item, I don't do anything to it. I just price it at market, and that's something I've been working on. Is I think I tend to price too high, and I'm really working on my sell through rate. So I have Terapeak open, and I quickly look at the most recent solds to see what the market is. So I'll price items at market, um, and then part of my morning routine is I look at items that are 1 month old. I will sort my active listings by date. Like today's April 7th. So this morning I clicked and promoted in bulk all of my items that were 1 month old. And I personally promote at the suggested plus 1%. My cost of goods are cheap, so I can afford that. And then to take it one step further, on the first of each month, I redo a markdown sale where I have different tiers of sales based on the age of the inventory. Anything that's 1 month or older gets reduced, and then each month that I've had an item that gets more, because I don't want to spend a lot of my storage space. Because if you think about it, it costs you an item to store an item. Like we've calculated, depending on your cost, it could be 5 cents to 10 cents per month, and that doesn't seem like a big deal. But if you've got 5,000, 10,000, or more items stored, that can
That's a
add
lot of
up. You
money.
don't want to clog up. You don't want to clog up your storage. You want to move that inventory, get that money back, because that was probably a bad buy I made. And even if I just recoup my initial investment, well, the thing I'm gonna buy next is probably gonna be a better item. So yeah, I
Right.
do promote, but not right away, Trina.
Alton, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You a gamer?
Yeah,
You know,
I enjoy gaming. I do. I know pretty much a lot of them.
All right, you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
I have a grail for you.
Oh,
You're not going to believe it as I slowly bring this up.
let me see it. Is it sealed?
No.
Damn. Okay. See, I was waiting. I was hoping. Oh snap!
The JVC XI, $460 system.
Yeah, I was gonna say 400 or 500 would be like in a working condition, easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I had to order cords and everything for it, so I'm still in the testing phase. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get to it.
What? Okay, what did the replacement parts for that? Because usually they'll cost you $20, $30.
It's a Sega system.
Okay. Well, no, I meant the
Sega game. So
right.
It's,
I just didn't know if the official parts were more. Like, you know how like a lot of times the parts are good, they'll go up.
The joystick's like $99. The JVC joystick is like $99.
Yeah.
Now the person that buys this is going to get Sega joysticks, but the system itself is like $400. You know.
Right.
So they play. I had to order the Sega CD. Right? Is that what they're called?
Yep. Yeah. Those Sega CDs. Yep.
Yeah. So I had to order some of those because I didn't have any more. And I actually ordered another Sega because I thought the price. I couldn't believe that thing went through the roof. Sega. Have you seen the prices for those systems?
Yep. Cost went up a couple
Sega. Okay, so we'll talk about progression real quick. You know, so about 2 years ago, people complained about 2 to 3 years ago, right before pandemic, about the value of Xbox 360s dropping to hardly nothing. Right. Well, then all of a sudden, what happened right with that? Guess what else tanked? Atari and the initial Nintendo systems, they tanked. Because you got to remember, the people who are coming into buying their childhood now didn't play on the Nintendo in the 80s. Now, we're already passing up Super Nintendo. Now, there is grails, people who appreciate, like the collector would appreciate, but not everyone played on Nintendo or Super Nintendo like we did, or Ataris. So you got to remember, now GameCube is one of the higher sales because that's what a lot of people who are in the money, it's all about progression and following the times. So now
you
the
said-
value of Xboxes is slowly starting to go back up
Mhm.
because that's the next system in line. So it's a wave. You got to ride it.
Alton, do you watch Chase?
Yep. Chase is good.
That's
He's
unbelievable.
actually, believe it or not, he's in my top 5 YouTubers that I like to watch.
six figure buy, man. No, yeah, 6 figure. You said, right?
Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Six
And
figure.
when
He's a young kid.
yeah,
You know, more power to him. I love watching him because he's young. He's got the energy.
yeah,
But
but he's
he has-
passionate about it. He knows it.
Right. He has an advantage over somebody like me. He could walk by a game and say, "Oh, that's a rare game." I have to look it up, and you know what I'm saying? Because I have no
Yeah.
clue.
Yeah,
But I love watching his videos because he teaches you a lot too. If you really watch closely and see what he
Mhm.
picks out and stuff, it really helps. You know, if you're in that sourcing mode. But
absolutely.
I
There
don't
was
know.
things where I thought I knew it, and like I'm like, okay, I'm watching it, and I go, I didn't realize there was 3 versions of that when I thought there was only 2 versions of a variant, and this was not a U.S. release, but it played on the U.S. console. It was a Japan release for the U.S. console that never made it here. And it's like, I didn't know that. Like
the GameCube NCAA basketball 2000 2K3. It's a $200.
Hey, let me share my screen. I'll show you about GameCube.
he's like, let me show you a little what's going
Look
on.
at
Now that you guys are talking,
Now he's grinning over here.
Yeah.
you know something good.
yeah,
A Ben's
ready?
pickup.
yep.
All right, you're up.
All right. So GameCube has this little authentic quartz. The quartz.
Yep.
And these sell consistency. It's the blue, the red, and what's the blue, red, and what the other one? But anyways,
That's for the Dolby
Yeah.
Digital sound for the
and
old
the green.
school.
Yep, for the 250, 14 bits. plus
I
shipping
have
from
those.
there. Yep, and I had some too, and I have to dig them
No,
out.
I don't had. I have.
Well,
See,
then you're
that-
probably sitting on thousands
are
of
my
dollars.
You're
to-
sitting on that- right here is all the only thing you need to look for at GameCubes, because the GameCubes are only going for like $50 right now.
right,
But
and they're
there's-
slowly starting to go up. But the
Yeah,
parts
yeah.
for them,
But the parts right here, yeah, consistently selling for $250. That one went too low. 113, but $300.
$300.
$300.
Some
So,
cables.
so for one cable.
Oh my gosh.
well, it's
So there-
because think about it, like
But
back when Nintendo
there's the yellow and the red and whatever. But this
you
is
had the basic
green and
RCA
blue.
with the
Yeah,
yellow, the red,
exactly.
the white, but
But
the
you want the-
component is
Yep,
the one that has the
component.
green. Yeah,
$300.
green and blue.
Yep.
What is what does the 3-way cord go for these days? The one that does Xbox.
Honestly, I would tell you they don't go for as much.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the one reason those won't go for a lot is because they were so mass produced. But the problem isn't that; is that the quality per the cable line can never match the one they put with the system.
Oh shoot!
You knocked your stuff down.
Knock my stuff down. See what you guys did?
You got so excited over there. You
Tearing
knocked
it
your
up.
stuff down.
That's it.
Tearing it up.
It's not one of those cords you can afford a new adhesive to hang those back up.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So
So
Yeah,
now,
actually,
now
y'all-
have everybody looking out for those cords.
absolutely, yeah. No, did y'all? Okay, I know I went
See-
sourcing last weekend. So did we find anything
I
last
already
week?
told you what I found, but that was from today.
Yeah, you found us everything. You always
Yeah.
show us. Hey, look what I found today.
Yeah, you're
Well, I
right.
can show us sold. I don't really keep stuff because my stuff's boring. And I'll tell you what, like, this is something I've been working on, is staying in my lane. But man, I come on here with y'all showing $300 cables and multi-$100 electronics, and y'all make my squirrel brain want to kick in. But I am sticking in my lane.
There it is.
Golly.
Yeah, but Brian, just a couple of years ago, you used to kill it and everything seller.
Yeah, but I'm killing it a lot more as just a clothing seller.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just get an idea. So from then to now, how much have you been able to scale percentage wise?
That's it.
like if we're talking, let's say, I don't know, an X number, has that number
Yeah.
doubled or has it, you know what I mean? Like by
Yeah,
focusing on it?
When I was an everything seller, which is fun, I'm not gonna lie, it's fun. And I went full time. I was probably grossing $6K a month. And like right now, I think I'm at 13 or 14K just on eBay.
You've
and
had
I
an
make
easel
another,
Yeah.
I probably make another 4 to 6K gross on other platforms where I sell replenishables. So by niching down, I've over doubled what I'm doing just on eBay.
Nice. Well, I know Scott's over there repairing his
I get some new
his
adhesive.
background.
So I guess I'll go ahead and share one of my better sells of the week.
Sweet.
Most of my items I find are bread and butter, and it's all about efficiency, getting more listings up. But occasionally I run into a decent sell. All right, let me know when
it's loaded up now.
All right. All right, so this sold actually this sold yesterday. These are a vintage pair of Gerbo baggy jeans that sold for $85 plus shipping, so it was like 90 something all in. Somebody's trying to buy some kois. And this is a pair of vintage Gerbo baggy jeans, men's 30, 90s hip hop. And I don't know. I don't remember. Like I buy so much stuff. I don't know if this came from the flea market, a garage sale, the bins. But I know my cost of goods, like on a pair of jeans, it's never over $5. And, you know, so for a bread and butter clothing seller to turn, say, 5 into 95, that's pretty good for me, because most of my sales, I think my ASP is like $25, which isn't very high, but I'm trying to build a volume game where by the end of the year I want to be listing over 50 items a day and hopefully selling over 50 items a day. But for me, that was a pretty good sell.
Nice. So for me, because it's hard for me to show y'all sales when I do Whatnot, because I can tell you what kind of week I had or what kind of month for Whatnot just doing live sales. Like I think March we hit over $2,300 net after just in Whatnot sales, just for me sitting down with people and talking to them. So, but one of the things I picked up was 23 of these, like they're mixed. So I got like some of this box of the Star Wars, and they're different collection pieces. And then I picked them up in like the single packs like this. Now, this guy, I kid you not, he's like, I said, how much for your, you know, some of them are Lego pieces, some are whatever. He's like $1 a piece at a yard sale. He's like, I want it gone. My wife wants it gone. $1 a piece. I bought 23 of them for $23. Nice. And this Luke alone sells for 20 to 25. And then this Luke sells anywhere between 18 and 20. So I got 21 other pieces that are 15 and up, ready to rock and roll. And I'm actually going to put them on the auction block this weekend and start them off at $5 and $10 and let people bid on and get some really good deals.
And that's perfect timing with the NBA playoffs about to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go, Luka.
So pretty good find there for me. We had a good time.
Nice.
That's nice. That's nice, Scott. That's the beauty of garage sales, man. You like Mike bought one out. Man, and I haven't been sourcing at garage sales much this spring. That could be another show. I know we've talked about sourcing a bit, but like, you know.
So where you get most of your inventory, the bins or?
Well, the bins, tag days, thrift stores, flea market sometimes, and then garage sales. So those are the 4 main ones. But like what I've been doing is like what I like about the bins, or you go to a big thrift store on a tag day, I can walk out of there. I can spend 2 or 3 hours and come out with 200 pieces. So the amount of pieces I'm accumulating per hour is very high. And that's where I struggle with garage sales. Like, but if I was an everything seller, garage sale's the perfect place. But just clothing, I'll find clothing, but sometimes I'll find a lot, and sometimes I won't. So like the efficiency of time.
Very cool.
You got a sell, Scott?
I had those golf clubs that I sold the last weekend. Sorry about that. The last weekend, and that was to Mexico, but I had to cancel that because the address was not correct. per eBay's thing. So I resold those, but that was the only big sell I had. The rest was all bread and butter, so nothing exciting, nothing, $40, $50 all day long, stuff like that. But I did have to change the garage sale from last weekend to this weekend, so I'll be talking about my garage sale on next week's podcast. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I'll tell you how much we made and go from there. So
now, guys,
That'll
I
be
totally
interesting
forgot to tell y'all something because Scott saw it and I was about to show y'all. So Brian, being a clothing seller, I need his opinion. So I picked this up for $2. It is junk. St. Louis Cardinals Letterman jacket for $2. But from what I can gather, this is either late 80s because it has a certain printed.
What's the brand on it?
Let's see. It's from Cooperstown Collection. So it's either 80s or 90s. But from when I looked up comps, I found what I call the predecessor to this jacket, which was a commemorative jacket when they were the St. Louis something. I can't remember. And I showed Scott. And that jacket for the 20-year mark before they became the Cardinals, that jacket was $500 and up. And I was like, well, I mean, I should at least start this one at $250 or more. But I paid $2 for it at a yard sale. I walked up. It was kind of chilly. First stop of the morning last Saturday. I kid you not. And this lady, I said, well, how much for your jackets? And I was afraid to point at one. I don't ever do that. I never point at something that I won't. I was like, well, how much are for your jackets? And she goes, $2 a piece. I yanked that off. And then as quick as I could do it, I'm not getting rid of this one. But because it's in my size, a 2X New York old school patch Yankees, and it's down. So I scored pretty big. So next winter I'll be in style. That's a down jacket.
Now that is a factor like I didn't bring up. One of the things about yard sales are you can find massive home runs because there's fewer people out there, and a lot of times people don't know what they're getting rid of.
Right.
Versus a thrift store, you're getting a lot of foot traffic, so you're less likely to find those home runs.
Yeah, right. That was the Browns. They had the Browns as well. They did move to Baltimore. That was the jacket I'm talking about. Was the Browns.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make Brian proud. He's gonna be real proud of this one. Show my sale.
Got you right here.
Look at that, Brian.
Oh, he's got a T-shirt up.
Look at that.
Bruce Lee.
Yo!
I like it.
$17.99. Have nothing into it. New with tag.
Here is for others.
Bruce Lee.
Yep.
Love Bruce Lee.
I need this shirt. I need to go buy me one.
I got the tag over top. Maybe there, right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bruce
nice.
Lee Enterprises.
Very nice.
Nice.
My size.
So what do you think of my flat lay? Pretty bad.
Well, the first picture. Go back to the first picture.
Okay.
The whole shirt isn't in the frame. The shirt's wrinkled on the bottom.
Let's start the critique.
What do you expect?
He's saying stick with golf clubs.
That's not bad. It'll still sell, but like Tech would say, it would still sell. It's not going to prevent it
It
from
did
selling.
sell. Sold for $17.99.
Well, there you go. That's all you need to know.
At $4.50 shipping. See?
There you go. I like it.
Wait.
That's awesome.
Oh, Brian. Oh, wait. Hold on a second. I got to show you some really good stuff. Hold
But
on.
wait, there's more. I feel like this is one of the info commercials.
I think
Wait,
I need to get with Mike and buy some of his clothing.
He doesn't do clothing like this, though. So I only do high end
Suits,
clothing.
yeah.
He's got
Mike
a
was
blazer.
showing me
Right,
these.
you heard he just said,
I mean,
right? Nonchalantly said, he doesn't do what I do. He goes, I sell the high end stuff.
Burberry.
All right.
Nice.
What's the material?
Come on.
Barney's in New York.
Nice. Was it wool?
These are all pure wool. 100% wool. I got these from the same estate sale last week.
Mike's all over the place. I don't know. Mike must have clones. I don't know how he does everything he does.
So this is just straight up Barney's of New York.
Uh-huh.
That one I think is listed for 174, and this is like 129. And then
Wait, we got to see the pictures on this. I want to see if the suit pictures look the same as the Bruce Lee. I hope not.
the creme de la creme,
Pierre Cardin. Nice.
100% cashmere.
Ooh. What's that listed for?
Little trench coat going on, 249, I think. 239,
Nice.
249.
Wow.
There you go. That's nice.
All right.
Well, let's see. Did we all go? I think
Let me-
did.
Yeah, we all went. And
Okay.
then
Let me see if I can find it real quick for him. I'll
Yeah,
let him
I want to see the pictures on the suit.
there you go.
after
Too bad Kevin isn't here. Actually, well, I don't. Never mind.
Yeah.
But you can go ahead. I mean, it's a positive outlook.
It is
It's
positive. So
It's positive.
I'll reach out for those that have followed it. Like I reached out to Kevin because we had a disagreement over shipping, and I was actually wrong. And it dealt with pirate shipping. So I wanted to be a man. I told him, hey, I was wrong. I did say the way you handled it, I don't think was the best way. And I didn't agree with that. But anyway, so we started talking a little bit. We haven't talked in months. And Kevin did say that he is the 30th ranked suit seller on eBay, which is impressive. So Kevin, well, when Kevin was with us, he was our suit expert. So there's a lot of money in suits, and a lot of people don't sell them because they do generally require a different type of photography level and a lot more measurements, but they can sell for a lot of money.
Professionalism.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm ready.
Oh, I'm gonna fall out my chair. Oh, okay.
There's my jacket.
You got the white background, maybe a
Photo.
little overwashed, but still looking pretty good. Got the buttons. Close up of the buttons.
Another
Listen,
one.
what happened to the neck of the jacket?
Well, I don't have the extreme setup for this.
Oh, she's got a big back end, man. What's happening?
Wow.
Oh.
See, I show the inside.
The inside liner. Nice. All right, we got the tag picture. Got the inside liner. It looks like a go back to that picture, Mike. That looks like a Hugh Hefner robe on
the
It kind of
Playboy Mansion.
I do pretty well with suits, so
Mike can do it all.
Strauss, remember that?
Wow.
That's old school right there.
If you need ketchup, Mike's got you. You need vintage electronics, he's got you. You need high-end cashmere suit with a chopped off neck, Mike's got you.
All right, fellas. Well, that was fun. Mike's got. I think still Mike takes us for the amount of items that he can be knowledgeable in so many areas. Like, holy cow!
I know enough to pick up Pierre Cardin and Burberry's and whatever that of New York was, Barney's of New York and Cashmere and Emelianenko or Chavez or Emelianenko, whatever his. If I saw his name, I'd know to pick it up.
Right.
That clothing guy with that weird name.
I mean, I guess you are a sum of all the people you hang out with, or at least you kind of start that you learn from it. So I probably would have never took the time to look at jackets if it won't honestly for Brian constantly telling us to go look for clothes.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I was trying to be open-minded. I'm still trying to be. I'm still not, but I'm trying. And I found 2 really good pickups. So now that's worth me taking the time to list it and putting it up there. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have
and that's the thing is that jackets on the clothing end have the highest ASP. So jackets, sweaters, things like that can have really high return on them. So
I got to get this thing listed though because it's that season.
It is that season.
It's that season.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Well, the crazy thing about it is you can see me walking around estate sales and talking to the camera like I'm looking through clothing, and I'll say to the camera, I don't know why I'm looking at this shit. I don't like listing it. I don't like having it, but yet I'll still pick it up when I know it's worth it. So
absolutely. Well, fellas, until next Thursday, I got about 10 minutes. And if any of you followed me on Whatnot, that's where I'm going to be in about 10 minutes doing more hat shows. So that's going to be great. Though I think
turtles thing.
What was that?
You want to auction off a turtles thing?
If I could bring you in as a guest, that'd be hilarious and make you ship it. But
There you go.
But
Still haven't got me in. You're supposed to be helping me out there.
yeah, so did they finally approve everything?
I told you I went through this onboarding class.
But did they not reach back out?
I didn't know you had to scan that stupid QR code on the screen.
Because Ryan said that he thought somebody had reached out to you. Because that's the last thing I saw. Someone had
No, I
must have.
haven't gotten anything from them
Okay,
at all.
well, I'll contact Ryan again because he said I thought this was already taken care of. So like I thought when you said you log back in, so I'll double check with that. But you'll have
I
fun
got
with
a
it.
ton of comics I want to get rid of, and these crap back here.
You'll have fun. All right, fellas. Until next Thursday, we will see y'all later.
Peace.
Peace.